Good morning, Sandeep. How are you doing?
Thanks, sir.
Good. So, what is the next week plan for you?
From day 12 to day 17, I'm going to teach.
So, what are the learning outcomes or learning indicators for the next 4
Actually,
weeks?
there are three learning outcomes, sir. One is children will be able to solve the word problems involving divisions, and the multi-step word problems involving addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and also the estimation of quotient with one-digit divisor.
Okay. All of them are going to learn in a single day class?
No, sir. It's from 12th grade to 7th grade.
Okay. So, what are the strategies they are going to make use of as a part of this?
When it comes to the word problems, sir, they use the narrow strategy, engage users, and when it comes to the estimation problems, they'll come with the compatible number strategy. So it will be discussed in the class.
Okay. Can you give me a brief about what exactly they are going to do as a part of narrow strategy?
Narrows is a technique which is used to solve word problems, sir. Actually, before when there is a word problem, children used to read it and they have to solve it accordingly, that is the solution step. But in a lead, they give it in a narrow strategy. Narrows means N stands for numbers and keywords, and A stands for what is asked in the question, and D stands for draw to understand, O stands for operation, which is we have to decide to use, and the S stands for solve the problem. And here our main agenda for this class is to let the people, let the world, children used to need to use the strategy to solve the code problem. So just I made them familiar with the guessing. Actually there are some symbols for deaf and dumb. So I gave this symbol for N, and this is for A, and this is for D, which is they use O and S. So they go with some song also, N, A, D, O, S song. And then they will recall all the steps, numbers, keywords and everything. They will say when we ask, and they'll solve accordingly using those numbers.
Okay. Can you take an example where students should be able to make use of the application of whatever they have done?
Yes, numbers.
Yeah. So can you give me an example and you need to tell me how it's going to happen?
Yes, actually there is a question in day 12 plans. There is a car dealer who is selling, who needs to transport 8,672 motor vehicles, and he used to use the trucks to transport from Mumbai to Hyderabad. So each truck can transport 16 vehicles. So how many vehicles are required to transport all the vehicles, the 8,672 from Mumbai to Hyderabad? So here first step, they will go to underline the numbers, and next they will go to underline the keywords which are given in our lead only. And next they will go to underline the what is asked in that question only with pencil or underline. And next they'll try to draw something, a picture to understand what they are going to solve. And next they will go to decide what operation they are going to do. It is just a brainstorming, sir, which they have to. Sometimes they get it from the keywords what are given in that particular question. Sometimes they have to understand the question, what they are asking, what is about, so that they will confirm, okay, this is for division, this is for multiplication. And at last they are going to conclude what they are going to do. Then they will solve what is going to happen, what they have to solve at last.
Yeah, great. You have been following, but I just want to understand when it comes to operations, how do the students decide whether it is a division, multiplication, or addition?
Yes, sir. Actually, most of the questions comes with the keywords, sir. There are some particular keywords: shade, divide, cut it off, and some split. There are some keywords particularly for division. And when it comes to multiplication, there are some other keywords. Mostly all the questions have the keywords, sir. So whenever we are going to the numbers and keywords only, they have some idea of, okay, we are going to divide, we are going to multiply. Sometimes it is just about the reading the question and let the people understand what they are going to do. At last they will decide, okay, this is division and this is the multiplication. Mostly the keywords helps them. Otherwise they have to understand the question, what is.
So what percentage of the class do you think that they will follow all this?
Actually, the main thing here that they are grade 5 students. More than half of the people need not. Sometimes when there is keyboard, they can understand well. But if there is no keyboard, there is a problem of this understanding. So I gave them one example, sir. It's just because of the multiplication and division comes together. The questions looks familiar. So I said in a multiplication, they'll give the quantity, less quantity, and they'll ask you about the more quantity questions. For example, they'll give 1 pen price and they'll ask you what is the cost of 10 price. So when the quantity is increasing, it is about the multiplication. But in division, they'll give you the huge quantity and they'll ask you, they'll ask the less quantity questions. Means, for example, they'll give 10 pence price and they'll ask what is the price of 1 pen. So if they can identify the quantity differences, what they are asking, so they can easily understand what the division is. Still some hard questions and there is a hard questions. It just takes some of the teachers' guidance and explanation.
Good. Can you also give me how are you managing with your compatible
numbers? Actually, before topic the multiplications, we discussed the estimations there. And here also we use the same estimation topic, estimation process. But here the estimation is not only sufficient. For example, when it comes to 870 divided by 5, the 870 we are going to round up. Sir. Here the 870, 8 after 7 is there, which is greater than 5. So they are going to circle the 8 to round up to 9, and remaining both will become zeros. So 900, here they can divide 900 with 5. The 450, yes, 5 ones are 5 and 5 nines, 19 times. So, not 19 times, it's 18 times. And sometimes the questions will come like this, it's about, let me go with this example, so what is given here. 563 dividing with 7, dividing with 8.
Okay.
So here the 5 and 6, the 5 we are going to round up, the 5 after number is 6, which is greater than 5. So we are going to round up the 5 to 6 and remaining both will become zeros. It is the estimation what we are going to do. But actually we won't get 60 in a table. So we are going to take the compatible number which is near to 60. So here the nearest number in 8 table, the 8 7s and 56 is the nearest one. So they will take the 56 instead of 60. So this 56 we call compatible numbers. So we are going to take compatible number strategy here in the day 17.
Great. And are you facing any challenges while explaining? Some of the students might not be able to.
Yes, sir. When it comes to the word problems, mostly in our lead curriculum, they give maximum number of questions in a one-day plan. Sometimes they give more than 5 or something questions. And the students who are in a good strategies, means who are going good, they can solve all the things in a given time. But many of the students are struggling to solve all the problems. So that's the only thing. So sometimes the lesson plan is going to the next day. So it's the continue to the next period. Sometimes.
Doing that, let's not hasten the process.
Yes.
If required, students need additional aid, always inform your academic coordinator and make sure that you are completing, so that we are making sure that everybody is actually understood rather than moving forward to the
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. And I also wonder, there are questions especially involving multiple operations together.
Yes, multiple operations. Here also the main problem is this type of questions also main problems, because when it comes to the multi-operation questions, they involve addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. And particularly here we are learning the division, and previously they already learned the multiplications also. So here the main thing is that the students need to read more times the question and let them understand well using the same narrow strategies. But here the main thing is keywords. Keywords used to take the more place here. So when students can identify the keywords correctly, they can make it well. Otherwise, sometimes there may be students need here in this multi-step board problems only the more care of each and
Okay. Are you adapting any of the group practice or how is
Yes, so there are some group activities and there are some individual activities. When it comes to group activities, according to lead, I just divided them like one exceeding student, two are one meeting student, and either 2 or 3 members of approaching students, and I made them as a group. So in each group, nearly 5 or 6 members will be there. So the approach, the exceeding students always try to deal with the other people, other students who are struggling a little. Otherwise, I will go and I just make them do it.
So typically how many worksheets we are covering as a part of this 5 days?
These 5 days we are going to cover from worksheet 11 to worksheet 16, sir. So total 6 worksheets. And in between there are some concept time worksheets also. So maybe 1 or 2 will be there. So mostly 4 worksheets or 5 worksheets we are going to cover in this particular topic.
Good. And based on your last observations, I think, no, are you adapting the strategies, any strategies?
Yes, sir. Actually, I try to make children involved in the particular division. When it comes to division, the introduction of the division, I made the parts of division. Means there is a dividend, there is a divisor, there is a quotient and the remainder. I just interlink it, that parts with their body parts. So I said the face part is the dividend and the left ear is the divisor, right ear is the quotient. Sometimes we can write it on the top of the head. So we write a hat or the ear, I said. So it's the quotient part and the foot part is called reminder. So when they are saying, they're just showing their body parts to say the parts of the division. And even though when they are going to solve the division, there are things we have to remember, sir. Actually, addition, subtraction, multiplication, they all starts from right to left. But when it comes to the division, it starts from left to right. So I said it's division is a villain. So I just prepare some of the things here. I'll show you there. I said division is a villain, so that it starts from left to right. So I made some photo edition. And I said we can write the divisor on the left, right ear or on the top of the head. So I said we can change it. So division can change its ear as a hat. So I said it is a magician, so that we can write in the both the sides. So children won't ask, sir, why you are writing sometimes here and sometimes here. So I said you can write in the both sides, so that we call it a magician. And I said division is mad. Mostly when I ask what is the answer, they are always saying the mind is the answer. But mostly all the answer, addition's answer comes on the foot part, subtraction and the multiplication always comes at the foot. But when it comes to division, they always answer on the top of the division. So I said division is mad, it always wears shoes on the head, so children can familiar themselves. So they said yes, division is mad. So whenever they said answer is division, no, division is a mad, so the answer will come on the head. So I just prepared this one. And I said there is one particular point, sir. Sometimes children will take 2 numbers at a time down. So they'll get the wrong answer. So I said division is sincere. Yes, these are the parts of division, so that I made. And at last, division is a sincere. I said so. Whenever it takes numbers down, it will take only 1 number at once down. And whenever it takes a number down, it will definitely solve that step. For example, here we are dividing 435 with 4, sir. But when we 4 ones are 4, we will complete that 4. When it comes to the second step, only we will take 3 down. But we won't get 3 in a 4 table. Sometimes people, the children will take 5 also down. I said no, only 1 number 1 time down. And when we won't get the 3 in 4 table, we will take 0. So this step is more particular here in the division. Sometimes people, the children will do most of the mistakes here. So I said division is sincere. 1 step, 1 number only will take down. And when we take a number down, we must solve that step. Either if it won't come in the table, we will take 0. So these are the terms that I gave. It's a villain, magician, mag, and sincere. And I just what we said, that's familiar their body parts with their division parts. So
great thought behind all this, keep doing that work so that the students will have a lot of engagement. But one of the recommendations during the last thing, are you calling the students with the names for the practice you are adapting?
Yes, sir. I used to call them dear mostly. Otherwise, I try to call them with their names, sir, because when we call them with their names, they'll feel confident, even though they'll get my attention. Okay, sir is having some particular interest on me. So I'll try to always call them with name. And if it is in between that, if they're making noise or something, I just say, dear, don't make any noise. And those things I just use the strategy.
How are you making sure that all the people are comprehending the question?
Comprehending question means I'm not getting
make sure that they are understanding the question properly.
Yes, it comes with the problem solving. When they are solving, I just make them always sit with their groups.
I'm not talking about problem solving.
Yes,
how do you make sure that you are understanding the question?
Yes, they are understanding the question. When they are solving the problem, when they can solve in time, in the given time, and when they are solving correctly. Mostly the math requires speed and accuracy, so not only speed and not only accuracy. When they solve it in the given time with the perfect answer, it said that they learned it. So I always try to understand. I'll always just keep watching. Are they doing correctly or not? Are they taking the support from
Yeah, you are absolutely right as far as the strategies. And how do you make sure that whether the children are understanding the question or not?
Yes, sir. I'm just saying that when they are solving the worksheet, I just observe them. Are they doing correctly or not? And when we give homework also, we'll get to know that they're doing or not. Just
So in group practice and independent
Yes.
practice, you are monitoring. Good. Any specific questions or any specific things you want to ask?
yes, sir. Actually, sometimes it comes to the students' category. There are some questions which are more. I feel sometimes that content is more sometimes, mostly. So for that thing, I'm just taking the class. I'm splitting the class to two parts. So I'm just taking it to the next period. And this is the most finest request that if it is increased a little, it will be better for the. And we have levels for Alga, same as I found that some people in our class, there are some levels of students. So for them, any
See, Sandeep, there I normally approach two fashion. One, I don't want to discuss every question in the book.
yes,
I'll make sure that I'm covering each concept is covered while taking the questions itself. I'll make sure that I'm selecting the questions before the session. These are the minimum questions I should be covering as a part of the session. And second thing, what I also normally do, we might have multiple approaches for each question to solve. I'll always look at what is the easiest way rather than looking at multiple, what is the easiest way for the student to approach. And most importantly, I will cover basic to moderate and difficult questions. If something is extremely difficult, what I will do is I'll not even cover intentionally in the class because it might be not engaging for the rest of the lot of students. There might be very good students who for them it might appeal them, but I intentionally make sure that these questions are given as a part of homework. So if somebody is really good, they'll do it and they'll come back so that I'll address them personally. That's how we some of the hard questions normally, which is very important, I'll make sure that I'm discussing as a part of the class. But if they can be discussed offline, I'll push to offline so that I'll make sure that I'm having a better control of the class.
so we can take what we can cover, and even though we can take the strategy which is out of the lead also, yes. So even though I'm trying to do that, but still I'm sticking to the lead again back. So I'm thinking that we have to follow everything.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the covering part, when I try to cover everything, sometimes people, the children are just struggling to understand what I'm saying. So it's become very useful for them to understand. So I just this.
Lead is the
Yes.
basic thing we need to cover.
We have to
So
do
beyond
that.
that,
Yes.
whatever you have the initiative, don't take. I really like the initiative what you have taken on division. How do you make sure that keep continuing those efforts? I think you are really going to continue the same. Thank you. Have a great day.